Doraemon put a piece of steak into a seed capsule, then buried it in the soil, watered it, and nurtured it. The next day, the seed had grown into a steak tree. Doraemon used scissors to pick a steaming hot steak from the tree, then cut it evenly into 4 pieces. Everyone could spear a piece with their fork. Everyone puts a piece of steak in their mouths at the same time, but it's too hot. However, the steak tastes absolutely delicious. Unfortunately, the steak tree at home can only produce 1 steak. They want to keep eating. To grow more meat trees, they need a spacious area. Tsuneo immediately offers his backyard. He also brings out various meats his mom bought. Seeing this, Doraemon pulls out a big bag of seed capsules. Finally, they went out to the yard to plant the seeds. Shizuka stopped Nobita and pointed out that there wasn't enough sunlight there. Tsuneo stepped forward to share some basic knowledge about planting trees. Doraemon told Nobita and Shizuka to plant the seeds under the sun, which could make the pork cutlets even crispier. Meanwhile, he and Tsuneo went to a shady spot to plant the stewed beef offal seeds. After watering them, the meat seeds sprouted tender shoots. Tsuneo brought over some cow manure fertilizer and had Nobita apply it to the seeds. Sneering at Nobita for not taking it seriously, Tsuneo began demonstrating it himself. By evening, the steak trees had grown quite large. That night, the weather forecast predicted a severe storm. Meanwhile, Tsuneo was setting up support poles for each meat tree. Just in the nick of time, Nobita and Doraemon arrived. They took charge of setting up the windbreak netting to cover the meat trees. The next day, Tsuneo and Nobita were completely exhausted, but the thought of delicious steak instantly cheered them up. Soon, all the meat trees were laden with bountiful fruit. As soon as they saw it, they happily ran over. Just then, Jian arrived. He thanked everyone for preparing such a sumptuous feast for him. Out of fear, Nobita had no choice but to let Jian enjoy the meal. Before long, Jian had devoured all the meat. Nobita and Doraemon thought Jian was being outrageous. They were angry, but Jian raised his fist to threaten Tsuneo. In the end, Jian left, satisfied. They had no choice but to plant them all over again. Tsuneo was responsible for providing the meat dishes. Tsuneo's mom received a large amount of meat again today, so the 4 of them began planting again. The next day, Jian came to Tsuneo's house, but didn't find any ripe meat. He saw a new orchard marked with a no trespassing sign. Meanwhile, Doraemon had already planted the real orchard on the back mountain. Nobita pulled up a gourd, which contained lamb skewers. Nobita approached a steak tree. The smell coming from the steaks made Nobita too scared to eat. It turned out to be goat meat that Tsuneo had specially prepared. All kinds of meat were growing here. Just as Nobita was feeling puzzled, Shizuka had already started eating. At that moment, they thought of Jian. Jian thought the warning sign was fake. He picked a fruit and immediately popped it into his mouth. It turned out to be super spicy fried chicken. Although it was delicious, most people couldn't stand it.